I would love to hear Raven's truth of her perception of her life.
Yeah, that is deep. You know, she's been being prostituted for a long time. Since a kid, she's been being prostituted, bro. You know, her mom, dad, nobody give a fuck about her, bro. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares, bro. No,
On The Cosby Show, you were the world's sweetheart.
Raven has been performing in front of 44 million people since she was 3 years old.
There's so much pressure to be feminine beauty.
Well, you look very attractive tonight.
Thank you. There's a lot of rules in place. How cute can you be? How sexy can you be without showing my sexuality? I knew that this can't be talked about.
What happened to Raven on The Cosby Show?
I just black out.
I would appreciate it if it will not appear anywhere.
I didn't want to tell my parents. I knew I couldn't say it out loud, but that eats at your soul. That eats at your soul.
Hold on. When Raven-Symone was still bound by her Disney contract, was she compelled to become a... Orlando Brown is making headlines again, and this time he's revealing some serious information about the claims that Raven-Symone was coerced into... According to Raven, she was severely mistreated and coerced into an unhealthy diet when she was still a minor in order to make her appearance more appealing to the potential creeps who watched her on TV every day. When Raven was barely 7 years old, her parents forced her into this Hollywood lifestyle, and she hasn't been the same since. In addition to forcing her to conceal her orientation, they also used the prospect of stardom as leverage to coerce her into engaging in some quite unsettling behavior. At the height of her popularity, Raven essentially quit everything and fled the industry due to the... However, let's go back to Raven's early days in the business before we get into any of that. Raven acted in various TV shows before receiving her big break from the hit Disney series, That's So Raven. In The Cosby Show, she portrayed Bill Cosby's step-grandchild, and in Hanging with Mr. Cooper, she played Nicole Lee. However, as I previously mentioned, her career was truly elevated by her Disney program, That's So Raven. In addition to her success on the program, she released multiple under Disney and starred in the Cheetah Girls. Naturally, though, prosperity was not without its problems, and Raven was severely damaged as a result. Raven claimed that she was receiving advice from multiple industry professionals to restrict her food intake due to her excessive weight gain. She claimed that the pressure to lose weight began when she was just 7 years old and a cast member of The Cosby Show. They would outright forbid bringing any food near her and would tell her not to eat on set. She wasn't even 10 years old yet, and they were starving her on set despite the fact that they knew she sometimes had to put in up to 12 hours a day there. We used to call it crafty, where there was simply a table of food and you could grab whatever you wanted. I remember not being able to have the bagel or anything. I also recall hearing comments along the lines of, "You can't eat that. You're getting fat. I'm hungry." I'm like 7 years old. It was challenging.
I wish I was living now.
As a younger person,
I probably wouldn't have so many mental issues.
Throughout your life, your career, the things that were said to you. Do you remember anything in particular that sort of haunts you, that someone said to you at an early age about the way you look that still affects you today?
I was too big to be doing an hour-and-a-half concert. I don't know how she can dance being that big.
Wow.
And I was like, and I still did it. I went on tour forever because it's not about your size. It's about what you have to say, if you can sing or dance, and performing.
That wasn't all, though. In order to remain available to the men who watch her, she was also compelled to conceal her sexual orientation. Raven was literally coerced into concealing her sexual orientation and forcing her to date guys in order to allay suspicions.
My likeness, whether you see it in an interview, whether you see it on print, whether you see it, however you see it at that time, had 15 people dictating what I should and should not look like. If I did whatever I want, I'm not gonna sell because it doesn't go with the brand. I was branded at such a young age. And then you wonder why all of these child stars have these issues. You were not allowing them to grow up as human beings. You were stifling them at the youngest and most important development age of their time, and then you expect them to be normal later? I never thought I would ever come out. I never thought I would come out because my personal life didn't matter. It was only what was supposed to be sold as, you know, the Raven-Symone brand. So it was something that I always thought in my head, I'll always have a friend. I'll have a husband and I'll have a friend on the side so I can be happy. So I can have both, you know, taken care of. I get this, you get the beard, you get whatever. That didn't last. I don't care anymore because I fell in love. And I was kind of over the industry. I wanted to retire. And I said, well, if I'm not going to be in the industry, then I can come out. So I did that.
For those of you who don't know, Orlando Brown was one of the men that Raven dated in order to hide her sexuality and make herself more attractive to males. Yes, you did indeed hear that. Orlando was chosen by their team to be her pretend lover while they both starred in That's So Raven. This is what Orlando had to say when questioned about it back in 2016.
Well, speaking of Raven and Mickey Mouse, you had that line in No Fear.
Yeah.
You know what line I'm talking about?
Yeah, tell Minnie Mouse to suck my sack like Raven did when she was black. When you hear that rat-a-tat, I suggest you get scat. Yeah, well, I meant just that.
Just that?
Just that, yeah.
So what do you mean to say like Raven did when she was black?
I mean, I told you in the first interview, I mean, she gave me, and then I gave her some, yeah.
Orlando hasn't been shy about discussing his relationship with Raven, but he has been outspoken about how the industry forces children to participate in vile activities at a young age, some of which Raven is allegedly a victim of. In a sit-down interview with Camp Capone News, Orlando later verified the rumors, claiming he saw a lot of terrible things in the industry that really messed him up.
Not intoxicated unless you're just, you have to be really in tune with life and just notice bone structure, skin, eye color, everything. You have to be in tune and you'll be able to see it. It'll manifest itself right in front of you, you know what I'm saying? But just for me to be sitting here and being like, nah, because, man, people done lost their families, bro. People done lost their kids and shit. A lot of stuff done happened.
Orlando, though, was not finished. According to him, the reason the industry gets away with abusing children like Raven is because the parents of those children are typically complicit in the situation and agree to pay for the abuse to take place. Upon witnessing the wealth their children bring them, they consent to the industry using them for its own purposes. Even worse,
they're shipping and people, adults, the moms, the dads, right there on Target commercials, right there on Walmart commercials. And you're looking at the people that are missing and they're smiling like they're happy, but they're going back to hell. And that's really what it is.
Orlando is not the first to voice concerns about the Hollywood industry's exploitation of young stars. This has been stated previously by other famous people. However, similar to Orlando, they've been called insane. Among them is Corey Feldman, a former child star who had some major issues.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
And they are.
And they do not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
Are you saying that they're
Yes.
and that they're still in this business?
Yes.
Similar to Orlando, many disregarded and ignored Corey's remarks because they believed that his addiction was the source of his insanity and that he was only making things up to get attention. Actor Charlie Sheen and talent manager Marty Weiss were among the people he named dropped in his 2020 documentary My Truth, which he later published. Corey's former spouse, Susie Feldman, and his Lost Boys co-star Jameson Newlander, who saw part of it, corroborated these claims. Returning to Raven, she was in the news once more a few years ago after it was revealed that Bill Cosby was a violent who sexually assaulted numerous women in the business, including young girls. Many people began questioning Raven's involvement in the numerous ladies he touched inappropriately right away. She did star on The Cosby Show before being discovered at Disney, if you recall. Furthermore, there's no assurance that Bill didn't at some point focus on Raven when he was out there other individuals. Even more intriguing is the fact that after these two rumors began circulating, Raven came forward and said that Bill had never touched her. I was not taken advantage of by Mr. Cosby when I was on The Cosby Show, the woman stated on Instagram. On that show, I was basically a baby. Thus, I have no interest in participating in this utterly nasty lie. I received nothing but the best treatment from everyone on the show. Keep me out of this, please. Since it was obviously written by her staff and not by Raven herself, not a single person on the planet took this statement at face value. At the time, there was conjecture that Raven's team most likely released this statement in order to prevent her from experiencing her trauma again. Furthermore, the statement contained a few contradictions that demonstrated Raven's disagreement with it even more. For instance, the statement claimed that she received nothing but love and respect from everyone on the show. The Raven was the same person who criticized the show for pressuring the 7-year-old girl to embark on an intense regimen for weight loss. Orlando Brown just made an appearance in an explosive interview with Real Life Productions, as if that wasn't suspect enough. Additionally, he claimed that Raven and himself have been at odds for some time because she objects to his sharing all of her trauma on the internet. He said she had tried to kill him and even to take his children hostage.
Raven been going through a lot, bro. She been trying to kill me. She kidnapped my kids, all kinds of shit. She been doing some fucked up shit. So it's kind of hard for her to come out and everybody knows she been doing shit for so long.
He didn't stop there, though. When he revealed that Raven had been a child in the industry, it was another huge shock. He added that her family was aware of the situation and had witnessed her being escorted around the industry.
I would love to hear Raven's truth of her perception of her life.
Yeah, that is deep. You know, she's been being prostituted for a long time. Since a kid, she's been being prostituted, bro. You know, her mom, dad, nobody give a fuck about her, bro. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares, bro. No,
Although it's unknown where Orlando obtained so much tea, keep in mind that at one point they actually had a public relations partnership. He is the one who truly understands her well, if anyone. Apart from that, they actually co-starred in a TV program, and they remained in contact for a few years until Orlando developed a drug addiction. The way the industry has treated Raven is truly repulsive, but the truth is finally being revealed, and Orlando isn't afraid to speak up and say what's on the record. I'd like to know what you think about Orlando disclosing the business. And do you guys honestly believe that Raven was a prostitute in the industry?